Daily Trust News Center. This is the News Hour.
On the News Hour tonight, Hope Uzodinma re-elected as Imo governor as complaints trail collation of results in Bayelsa, Kogi State. 5 dead in Ijebu-Ode-Ore expressway crash. Also, fire guts famous Gamboru market in Maiduguri. On the foreign scene, Israeli raids kill 3 more Palestinians in West Bank. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. We start with politics. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has been declared the winner of the governorship off-cycle election in the state by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The governor won the poll to serve a second term of another 4 years in office under the platform of the All Progressives Congress. The governor, who was declared the winner at about 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, beat the 2/3 requirement and won in all 27 local government areas of the state in the election results declared by INEC returning officer for the polls, Professor Abayomi Fashina, Vice Chancellor, Federal University, Oye-Ekiti. He polled a total of 540,408 votes, defeating Samuel Anyanwu of the People's Democratic Party, who scored 71,504 votes, followed by Ethan Achonu of the Labour Party with 64,081 votes.
However, I wish to comment on the incident of all the years earlier this year with regards to the Labour Party chairman that was physically abused. We condemn that action, not because of police, but because of this is a civil process that should not at any point be encouraged to have any sign of physical abuse whatsoever.
When something happened, if you go to my where they call it, go and say what happened. We have ballot process we have stopped, torn, and scattered. And that is the country road of the candidate of Africa. So how can we not be comfortable on such a thing? We are not comfortable because we are afraid that when we talk, they may beat us and they may kill us. Who wants to die? Nobody wants to die. But we are not comfortable at all with it.
Some observers, civil society organizations and party chairmen expressed disapproval of the electoral conduct in Imo, describing the process as a sham. Still in politics, officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, have been held hostage in Brass local government area of Bayelsa State. The commission announced this on Sunday, calling on security agencies to facilitate their release, describing the incident as detrimental to credible elections. The development comes 24 hours after Ms. Ebehireme Blessing Ekwe, supervisory presiding officer, who was abducted on election eve, regained her freedom. Both People's Democratic Party, PDP, and All Progressives Congress, APC supporters had staged a protest earlier in the day. INEC is still collating results from the Saturday election, with incumbent Governor Duye Diri of the PDP ahead of Temipre Silva, his APC rival. There are 8 local government areas in Bayelsa State. Now, to give us an update on the situation in Bayelsa State, we now have joining us on the news via telephone Trust TV reporter Friday Ebimobowe Peters. Friday, welcome to the news. Can you give us an understanding of the update on the situation with regards to the abducted INEC officials in Brass local government?
All right. Regarding what happened in Brass, since they was about in form of a protest, that the results, the Brass local government results, to be announced in Brass local government police center and not in Yenagoa. That led to the protest. And since that now led to the delay, they now hold the INEC officials hostage there. But this evening, I called the HOD and INEC, I said voters education HOD there. I called it and said the INEC officials are on their way to Yenagoa.
Okay, so if I understand you and if I get you correctly, you're saying that the INEC officials who were initially abducted have regained their freedom and are now on their way to Yenagoa.
Yes,
okay.
I called the HOD. I called
okay.
the INEC, I think, around 7:30 thereabouts.
Okay.
When they said they are on their way already.
Oh, all right then. That's some good news. But then again, paint us a picture on the situation in the state capital. You know, as collation of results is still ongoing.
So Yenagoa, yeah.
Of course.
No. They are postponed it till 12 p.m. tomorrow.
Oh, great. All right then. So I was asking you paint us a picture of the environment, not about the collation of results, of course. So tell us, is it tense? What's the situation like?
In the island or in the Brad?
No, in Bayelsa State, of course.
Yes, I have picture of that. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what's the update you're getting on the ground? Like, what's the situation there in Bayelsa State? Is it calm? Have there been any more protests apart from the one that we saw earlier in the day? What's the situation in the state? Just give us a feel. Paint us a picture.
There is no protest outside the one that was carried out earlier. There's no protest outside when the supporters of the tinubu, they have been celebrating here and there around the just that.
All right then, thank you very much for the update Friday. Of course, we'll touch base with you tomorrow, as you said, 12 p.m. for the continuation of the collation. Thank you so much. Do stay safe.
All right, thank you, sir.
Moving on, the Independent National Electoral Commission says decision to hold fresh elections in some locations in Kogi State will be subject to the returning officer's determination of the application of the margin of lead principle. This follows an update on the suspension of election in some locations in the state where result sheets were completed before the commencement of voting. The most critical incident occurred in 9 out of 10 wards in Ogorimagongo local government area. A statement signed by INEC National Commissioner Mohammed Kudu Haruna on Sunday announced that fresh elections will be held on Saturday, 18th November 2023 in the affected polling units. The electoral body said it was determined to follow the audit trail of personnel and materials to ascertain those who may have been complicit in undermining the process and apply appropriate sanctions when necessary. Meanwhile, results collated so far indicate that Ahmed Usman Ododo of the All Progressives Congress is leading the polls, securing victories in 12 local government areas, while Murtala Ajaka of the Social Democratic Party SDP has claimed victory in 6 local government areas, and Dino Melaye of the People's Democratic Party is yet to win any. And to give us a situation report on the developments in Kogi State, we have now joining us via telephone Trust TV reporter in Kogi State, Shafiu Suleiman. Shafiu Suleiman, thank you for joining us this evening. What's an update on the situation? Earlier, we had heard calls for the cancellation of results in different areas. What's the update? Shafiu, can you hear me? Hello, Shafiu, can you hear me? Okay, it seems we'd have to circle back to that much later. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has fixed Wednesday, 15th November for the hearing in the appeal filed by Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, who is fighting to overturn the majority judgment of the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Lafia. The lower court had, in a split judgment, ruled in favor of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, David Umbgadu, declaring him the lawful winner of the March 18 governorship election in the state. A dissenting ruling by one of the 3 judges, however, upheld the election of Governor Sule. Governor Sule rejected the majority judgment read by the tribunal chairman, Justice Ezekiel Ajayi, describing its position as unmeritorious and devoid of evidential support base or pillars. According to the notice of appeal, the governor listed 27 grounds of appeals for determination by the appellate court. A notice of hearing was issued to the parties in the case by Nasiru Al-Hassan, electronic desk officer of the court, on Sunday. Okay, we now have Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV reporter in Kogi State, back on the line. Hello, Shafiu. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, so what's the update on the situation in Kogi State as at this moment?
Right now, the coalition, the returning officer for the state has just concluded receiving the outstanding 3 local government areas of Ibaji, Lokoja, and one other local government. So he has just collated the remaining local government results, and the standing is that right now the APC has 14. Has additional 2 local governments to the earlier ones I announced. I told you that is so far it has. I'm trying to look at the numbers now, but then the APC so far has I think 14 local governments, and then the SDP has additional 1, making it 7.
All right.
Sorry, let me get that again. Let me clear that again.
Okay.
The APC has 13 local governments so far, while the SDP has 7 local governments, and then ADC has 1, making 21 local governments put together.
Okay, so members of the SDP, the PDP, and interestingly, even the AA has called for a cancellation of the elections at different parts and different times in the day. So far, you've been at the polling center since morning, the collation center since morning till this time. Has there been any other development on those issues?
Yes, they reiterated their call to the returning officer, reminding him of the promise earlier made by INEC headquarters to address the issues around those contending or contentious results from those local governments that were earlier identified. But then he pushed the inquiry to the INEC National Commissioner, who is seated on the podium. And he now clarified that INEC has issued another communication this afternoon, reiterating its position regarding its resolve not to collect those results from those local government areas, but then it is subject to the time that is arrived at here at the State Coalition Center by Professor Umar, that is the returning officer. So the position here is that yes, INEC has clarified, has updated that communication from its release yesterday by, insisting on the resolve not to collect those results from those local governments. But then all eyes are now on the state returning officer to take a decision. Just like he said before he stepped down the proceeding, he said that he is going to now look at the position and the figures and everything, and then come up with a terms in the next couple of minutes. That is what is happening right now.
All right. What about the atmosphere generally? What do you have to say about the situation there with regards to citizens going about their businesses and the general activities going on in your location?
Actually, the situation here is calm. There is normalcy. Everyone is going about his normal businesses. Earlier, around 6-7 p.m. thereabout, there was a crowd of supporters, in their large numbers, who were seen around the INEC headquarters, already in a celebration mood, celebrating a supposed victory. They were moving about, and there wasn't any interruption or interception or disruption by security agencies who are watching, them as they were celebrating and then beating their drums and so on and so forth. They did this seamlessly and then moved back to to where they came from. So the situation right now is calm. There is no cause for alarm. Security agencies are on top of the situation. And of course, here at the Coalition Center, it is also orderly, except for the observations made by those party agents, which has been addressed by the returning officer and the other national commissioner of INEC.
Shafiu, it's seeming like these party agents have been very quick to identify issues and bring them to the front burner before, it gets swept away or swept under the carpet, as some people would say. But generally, how would you describe their behavior, since the commencement of the process till now?
Well, I think largely they've been very orderly. They've conducted themselves in line with the rules of the game. I mean, professionally always raise issues at the right point and then draw the attention of the returning officer or the INEC officials here on certain things they consider, anomalies and wait for their response. And where they respond, they don't, perhaps even if they disagree with them, they do that without disrupting the process, which means they've been very orderly and been very professional in handling the issues. So far, there hasn't been any attempt to disrupt the process, and except for observations and then seeking for clarification.
All right, then, Shafiu Suleiman, reporter in Kogi State, thank you so much for that updates there. Hopefully, we'll join you again subsequently to get more updates on the situation.
Thank you.
Cattle traders in Nguru local government area of Yobe State are lamenting that rise in transportation cost is slowing down trading activities. They also appealing to the government to subsidize the cost to stimulate the business that is now recording low patronage. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jabrin reports that trailer loads of cattle are now being transported from Nguru to Lagos at the cost of 1.2 million naira. Here's more on that report.
As far back as the 15th century, the Guru town in present-day Yobe State remains one of Nigeria's oldest commercial center. This century-old cattle market tells a story of how merchants from different parts of Africa traded here for generations. But not anymore. Inadequate capital, lack of government interventions, and the high cost of doing business are now affecting the continuous survival of these cattle traders in Guru.
Our major problem includes the high cost of fuel and foreign exchange. Before now, a trailer load cost between 400 to 500,000 naira, but now is 1.3 million naira.
According to the traders, the price of cattle has drastically increased, largely due to increase in price of animals' feeds and supplements, as well as the cost at which these animals are being transported, among other challenges.
I think because of the problem of transport, government can help us restore our train services, which will significantly help us to sustain our businesses. You can see we have customers from Kano, Jigawa, Lagos, and several other places across the country. Therefore, if we have this train back and sound, I think things will definitely become easier for us.
Although Guru cattle market is still thriving, but these people are worried about the future of their businesses if the situation persists.
Honestly, most of our people now are worried. They feel that if this situation continues, many people from Niger, Chad, and several other places will stop coming here to do business because the cost of transportation is too much for us.
Despite this, there is optimism among the traders that there may be light at the end of the tunnel. They also expect government's quick intervention. But while they wait, their suffering may remain until something is done to change the situation. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Yobe.
People who manually break rocks in Jigawa State say the lack of government patronage is making it difficult for their craft to thrive in the state. The rock breakers say despite their physically challenging occupation, they are struggling to cope with the harsh economic environment. Trust TV's Adamu Imam files on this report.
Rock breaking is a physically demanding job, which means most people cannot take it on. But someone has to do the job because of the demand for rocks in the construction industry. There are huge deposits of rocks in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital, which means there is a market where forces of demand and supply can interact. As I'm talking to you now, no one is patronizing our business here, unless those engaged in the petty building construction. We can't remember when last government officials came to buy from us. We just sit and watch. Only God that is helping us. This is hard labor, so he questioned that arises is why have people chosen this as an occupation. Before we had some capital for small business, but things have turned upside down. If we search for a job, it's never forthcoming. The capital has disappeared. Instead of to remain idle, we decided to join this hard labor to manage our lives. If we can have a strong union in this job, we are good to go. But the reverse is the case. We have no one to champion our cause here, so that we should speak with one voice to boost our business morale and progress in the end. This may not be an attractive job because it is physically and mentally draining, but it provides means of livelihood to many youths who otherwise will have been unemployed. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
To other news now. 5 people on Sunday morning were reportedly found dead in a crash that occurred at the Ososa Junction end of the Ijebu-Ode-Ore Expressway, leaving 1 injured and 2 other people escaped unhurt. The accident involved an unmarked Mack truck and a Honda Accord car with no registration number. According to a statement from the spokesperson of Ogun State Sector Command of Federal Road Safety Corps, Florence Okpe, the suspected cause of the accident was wrongful overtaking by the Honda Accord, leading to a collision with the truck. The injured were said to have been taken to the General Hospital, Ijebu-Ode, while the bodies of the dead were said to have been deposited at the morgue of the hospital. Ogun FRSC Sector Commander Anthony Uga has, however, described the crash as very avoidable if caution was put in place. Uga, while reacting to the accident, advised motorists to stop making quick turns on the expressway and rather use the intersection of the proper turning point. He sympathized with the families of the victims and advised them to contact FRSC Ijebu-Ode Command for more information about the crash. You're watching the news hour on Trust TV. Still to come. 2 years after flood, Tigarurum residents lament over bad roads. More news when we return. Stay with us.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
Because there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves,
It's not what has been seen. Is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its higher horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for them, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago, you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
That's great.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at the headlines again. Hope Uzodinma re-elected as Imo governor as complaints trail collation of results in Bayelsa, Kogi State. And 5 dead in Ijebu-Ode-Ore Expressway crash. Moving on to other news now. The Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, has been temporarily shut down following a runway incident involving an aero contractor's aircraft around 10:47 a.m. local time on Sunday. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, Dr. James Odaudu, who confirmed the incident, said the aircraft upon landing from Lagos had its nose wheel stuck in the grass verge with its fuselage on the runway as it maneuvered to exit the runway. The Lagos-Abuja flight, operated by aero contractors, was a Boeing 733 with nationality and registration marks 5N-BYQ. Fortunately, there was no fatality or injury as passengers were safely disembarked from the aircraft, while efforts are currently being made to remove the aircraft from the runway. The NSIB has commenced investigation into the serious incident after it was notified. Also, members of the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Plateau State Chapter, in collaboration with Operation Safe Haven, have organized a walk to promote peace and unity while drawing attention to the menace of drug abuse. Plateau State has been battling with endemic ethno-religious crisis that has greatly destroyed social cohesion for decades. Trust TV's Ado Musa has more.
The peace walk began at the state headquarters of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, with participants walking long distance to various communities within Jos Metropolis to carry the messages of peace by highlighting the importance of togetherness to achieve sustainable development. According to the organizers of the event, the peace walk aims to sensitize residents, especially youth, on the dangerous effect of drug abuse and need to live peacefully with one another despite ethno-religious differences.
Okay, thank you very much. We decided to put this together so that because of to correct the impression that people outside Plateau have about Plateau. A lot of people feel Plateau is not peaceful, but we've decided to do this so that we will tell the world that the state is peaceful. It is only in a peaceful state that you can walk for kilometers without any interruption, without any issue.
Indeed, a good gesture where we promote peace. We, speak against other vices such as drug abuse. This is a very good initiative. Just like we have had it in the message that we have passed around the state this morning. Drug abuse is indeed a bad factor that promote violence in our society. So this is indeed a very good program for journalists who are residing in the state, coming out to bring out this peace is indeed a good effort.
That's why it is good for us to preach it to people that peace is good. We need peace. The government needs peace. Everybody needs peace. And that is why I said we should keep every other differences. Let's come together to promote this peace. I'm calling on everybody in this state, outside Plateau State, within Plateau State, if you're a resident in Plateau State, let's drop our differences and let's embrace peace so that we'll move this state forward.
Thank you. Peace ambassadors believe that peace-building efforts are often essential for sustainable development as they help to reduce tensions, prevent violence, and create an enabling environment for development initiatives to succeed. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And in other developments, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a notorious drug dealer, 45-year-old Godwin Emunei, who is physically challenged and uses his wheelchair as a cover to deal in illicit substances such as methamphetamine and cannabis. Spokesman of the agency, Femi Babafemi, stated on Sunday that the suspect was arrested at his base in Afuze, headquarters of Owan East Local Government Area of Edo State, following credible intelligence in other operations in Edo State. NDLEA operatives recovered 42 bags of cannabis weighing 480 kilograms from a camp in Aviosi Forest in Owan West Local Government Area, while the Utese Forest in Ovia North East Local Government Area was also raided the same day with 231.5 kilograms of the substance recovered and a cannabis farm measuring 0.78 hectares destroyed. In a similar vein, operatives of patrol alongside Ungroye Yola Road in Adamawa State have intercepted a Toyota Corolla car loaded with 30,899 tramadol pills concealed inside the body compartment of the car. The driver, apprehended with the drug exhibit, 25-year-old Sani Samaila, said he was delivering the consignment from Jalingo, Taraba State to Yola, Adamawa State. And away from that, the popular Gamburu market in Maiduguri has again been gutted by fire in the early hours of Sunday. Although firefighters were able to contain the blaze, properties worth millions of naira have been destroyed. Trust TV's Beatrice Kuriti reports.
For the second time, the Gamburu market in Maiduguri is dealing with another fire disaster. According to reports, the fire incident began in the early hours of Sunday at 5:30 a.m., affecting the grind milling section of the market, destroying machines and goods worth millions of naira. The firefighters responded just in time to prevent the complete destruction of the market, as 3 firefighters sustained injuries while battling the blaze.
The fire was ravaging seriously, and we tried as much as possible to cut the spread of the fire immediately. And the situation is under control now. The cause of the incident is yet to be ascertained because our team of fire prevention and inspection, they will come and do the investigation. It is just few people, just three of my men that they matched nail, and they have been taken to hospital by SEMA.
Traders have been expressing their shock and sadness the losses caused by the inferno. It was after the morning prayers I got a call that the market is on fire. When I came, we saw the fire service people trying to quench the fire. I lost food commodities, a lot of it, and grinding machines were burnt. We pray that the government will intervene because a lot of us are poor and depending on this business. It's not the first time that the market is affected by fire. The last one burnt down 61 shops and now it has happened again. We need government support. It affected my shop and my colleagues too. It burnt foodstuffs, grinding machines and more. We call on the government to do something for us. This is the second time Gamboru market has been devastated by fire, and for these traders, they can only hope this incident does not repeat in the near future. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Quite an unfortunate situation there. Also, 2 years after the flood incident that claimed the ever-busy road linking Tiga and Rurum towns in Bebeji local government area of Kano State, residents are still struggling to maintain a narrow passage to keep the road from completely being inaccessible. Trust TV's Salim Ibrahim, who visited the area, has this report.
2 years after the flood incidents washed up Tiga Dam and made the road deplorable, motorists and other road users say the road is yet to receive the needed attention. The overflow of the Tiga Dam, which cut off the main road and destroyed several farmlands and almost washed away the Sarkin Kogi bridge. Neither rehabilitation of the road nor reconstruction of the bridge has commenced 2 years after. It is observed that the condition of the road is changing from bad to worse, and the narrow passage down the road managed by Good Samaritans is now becoming emblematic.
We are not finding it easy climbing this hill, and at a point in time, we have to pay for us to get to the top of the hill. Some of the drivers will push us up and we give them stipends.
Rano, Rurum, Tiga, Durmawa, Boys Quarters, Sarkin Kogi, Sabuwar Kaura, Ruwan Kanya, Gidan Tsamiya, Doka, Gargai, and Rantan are some of the communities that directly depend on the road for economic and social activities. While many struggle to get across with the help of the residents who found new job in helping motorists, this year's rainy season saw the passage being eaten up and gradually increasing as erosion takes over.
We are the ones saddled with the responsibility of repairing this road during and after the erosion. We are calling on the government to come to our aid and fix the road, which is one of the popular roads in the state. Since the road serves as a route to some other states, it will go a long way to develop the state if developed by government.
When the dam overflowed 2 years ago, the then Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, visited the area and called for the closure of the Sarkin Kogi bridge to ensure the safety of motorists and pedestrians. Though high-ranking government officials pledged government intervention and commitment to the protection of lives and property of citizens, but so far, nothing had been done to address the suffering of motorists and pedestrians on this road. Salim Umar Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
This is the News Hour on Trust TV. Join us again after this short break.
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
You're still watching the news hour on Trust TV. And in the Niger Delta, in a bid to curb oil theft in the region, the Nigerian Navy has restated its commitment to safety in maritime travel during the festive period. The commanding officer of the Forward Operations Base, Bonny, Captain Reynold Adoki, stated this while parading a crew of vessels arrested for transporting suspected illegally refined products. Here's more on the story. The commanding officer of the Forward Operations Base, Bonny, Captain Reynolds, says the Navy has intensified efforts in tracking down oil thieves and deterring criminals involved in the economic sabotage. Setting off from the Forward Operations Base, Bonny, in Rivers State, the men and officers of the base were in high spirits as they conduct journalists to the Cawthorne Channel, where an arrested vessel, Mother Cabrini, is anchored. The Mother Cabrini, alongside her 10-man crew, have been arrested on the suspicion of carrying an estimated 80,000 litres of suspected illegally refined diesel, and the vessel's captain speaks on their arrest.
Well, actually, when the guy came, he told me that when we get to Bonny here, we are going to, supposed to be outside. When we get here, he said we should stop and we want to, I don't know what he said, he said we should stop here. That's when if I know that it's not original, I won't have said the boat or come to normal where the Nigerian is. Or I'm supposed to leave the vessel there, but he told me that it's original and we will stop here and collect water, fresh water to supply the foreign vessel.
Speaking to newsmen, the commanding officer of the base, Captain Reynold Adoki, says the product aboard the arrested vessel has been tested at a lab and confirmed to be below acceptable standards.
MV Mother Cabrini was arrested by the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base tactical units. The base responded by deploying the tactical units when we had credible intelligence that the vessel was outbound the Bonny Channel proceeding to sea. And on intercepting the vessel, we carried out a physical inspection of our tanks, checked our documents, and also interrogated the crew. So between yesterday and today, we were able to establish some findings so far. The first one is the fact that the vessel, as the captain has claimed, has about over 80,000 litres of products we initially had suspected to be illegally refined AGO, that's diesel.
The commanding officer says after the conclusion of investigations, the vessel and its crew would be handed over to the appropriate agency of government for further action and subsequent prosecution, noting that it is in line with the Navy's strategic partnership with other security agencies. And to foreign news now. Israeli raids in the northern West Bank have killed 3 Palestinians, according to authorities, as violence in the occupied territory escalates amid war in Gaza. Israeli forces killed 1 Palestinian in the town of Jenin and 2 others in the town of Araba. During the incursion, the Israeli army damaged infrastructure, including roads and power transformers. The deadly raid adds to hundreds of Palestinian casualties in the West Bank since the beginning of the Gaza war between Israel and the Palestinian armed group Hamas. Also, dozens of construction workers are feared trapped after the road tunnel they were building collapsed in northern India's Uttarakhand state, with rescuers scrambling to reach them beneath the pile of debris. The incident occurred during a shift change at the Yamunotri National Highway in the Himalayan state when a group of workers were moving out and replacement workers going in. The tunnel is being constructed between Silkyara and Dandalgon to connect 2 of the holiest Hindu shrines of Uttarkashi and Yamunotri. Photographs released by the government rescue teams showed huge piles of concrete blocking the wide tunnel, with twisted metal bars on its broken roof poking down in front of the rubble. And in sport, Ducati's Enya Bastianini claimed his first race victory of the MotoGP season as he won the Malaysian Grand Prix ahead of Alex Marquez on Sunday. The Italian, 25 years old, became the 7th rider to win a race this season as Jorge Martin failed to close the gap on championship leader Francesco Bagnaia. Martin finished a distant 4th with Ducati's Bagnaia, who secured his first MotoGP title last season, in 3rd. The 26-year-old Italian leads Martin by 14 points with 2 races left. Also, Britain's Katie Archibald hopes a triumphant end to this year's Track Champions League series will propel her to Olympic glory at Paris in 2024. The series concluded with 2 rounds in London this weekend, and Archibald, 29, reclaimed the women's endurance title. She now aims to add to the Olympic gold medals she won in Team Pursuit Rio 2016 and Madison in Tokyo 2020. And to some other sad news, veteran actor Usman Baba Patigi, popularly known as Samanja Mazanfama, has passed away at the age of 84 in Kaduna. The Kaduna-based popular Hausa film actor died around 12:15 a.m. on Sunday. Confirming his death to Daily Trust, Muhammad Usman, one of his sons, revealed that the father left behind 2 wives. He died at the age of 84. According to Muhammad, the funeral prayer will be held at 10 a.m. at a mosque in Kabala, Kaduna State. And before we go, here's a kicker. Dominic Benhura's award-winning pieces have brought greater recognition and value to Zimbabwe's centuries-old stone sculpture tradition. Have a look.
I started sculpting when I was 5 years whilst molding clay. Whilst herding cattle in my rural area of Mrewa here in Zimbabwe. But with stone, I started sculpting when I was 10 years old, when I came to Harare in 1980. So I've been doing this all my life, and I do exhibitions all over the world. In my sculpting, I'm inspired by my natural environment, the animals of Zimbabwe, and the figurative work which I do is basically inspired by the people by humanity in general. My pieces evolve around happiness, balance, playfulness. So they are whimsical. They don't need any facial features to express themselves. So it's just I just use movement to portray the expression in those sculptures.
By bringing art buyers across Europe, America, China, and many other places to Zimbabwe. That is a value addition that the stones have been able to give. But not only from there, but also publishers, writers, and the whole value chain of Zimbabwe benefits out of the Zimbabwean stone sculpture.
It is extraordinary to see the happiness of his vision, how he can portray the features that are not there, but when you look at it, you can feel the features are there.
Through working with Dominic, I've learned a lot through his ideas, teaching us when you're approaching a stone, you don't have to fear. You must bring new ideas every time and have your own trademark. That helps me to to be now internationally recognized.
And with that, we've come to the end of the News Hour on Trust TV. Don't forget to follow us across all of our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I'm Sakir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and good night.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.